All right, Peter, we are live. Welcome everybody to Wall Street Reporters Investors Discovery Day live stream. We are back with Fabled Silver and Gold. Peter Hawley, the CEO. This is a stock that's had a pretty significant run. We're having a little bit of a pullback today. Company's had some great news. And a lot of people are saying that this could be our next 50 bagger or 100 bagger stock. So we're gonna find out. Peter, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Jack. Appreciate being asked to come back. And it's amazing the emails I have gotten from. I've never seen anything like this before. It's crazy.
Have you gotten the T-shirt? I have a T-shirt that's waiting for me in the mailbox.
I understand one's floating around. Yes, I understand. Yeah, and I also heard that. Potentially, if you were a good guy, they were going to send you one.
I think it's at my mailbox. I gotta go there. I haven't been able to leave the house, but it's there. It's the official FCO Silver Daddy T-shirt. I'm going to be wearing it in the next live stream. So, the good news. The good news is, Peter, the internet is cooperating.
It is. I had a whole new system put in last week, Jack. So this is the max of the max. So I had to cash in a bunch of beer bottles and everything else, but we got it done.
Okay, so we got a question here. We only have one question. I'm surprised we only have one so far, which is, why is the stock down? So
if stock always went up, we'd all be multimillionaires, guys. But here's what I think is going on. And if you notice our previous news release before the one about hole number 3, that we had a total of a little over $4.1 or $4.2 million of early exercise of warrants that were attached to the original financing. Now, those warrants were good till December the 22nd of 2022, 2 years time. But the investors or whatever decided to take them down, so to speak, and as such, our treasury goes up like crazy. But those shares are in the market, and for them to take it down, they may use the argument, well, you know what, I participated in the financing at 5 cents. It's at 35 cents. I made 7 times my money. I have these free warrants sitting here. Hey, I'll sell some of my shares, take these free warrants. And you know what? I made tons of money and I got all this free stock now. So I think what you're seeing, guys, is the last day or two is at the end of every week, I get notified of if there's been warrants exercised. And I'm very sure that this Friday I'll find out that quite a few additional warrants have been exercised, which is, it's not a bad thing. Believe me, you can look at it.
You have more cash coming in.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right now, with the cash on hand right now, Jack, if I wanted to increase this drill program from 8,000 meters to 20,000 meters, I could do it in a heartbeat without even thinking.
It's interesting because, a lot of times private placement buyers, a lot of it is just guys they want to get it and they want to make a quick percentage. They're not looking to make, 20x, 10x. It's usually if they double their money, even make 35, 50%, they're happy, they move on. And we actually I actually heard from, somebody, that a company that they raised money for which is actually Empower, one of our big winners that's up 50x, who you need to catch up to. They did a private placement, and there was, I think some guys, it was at a nickel. The stock went to a dime. Guys, sold out. They shorted against the thing, Absolutely. And they were happy. They doubled their money. Now the stock is $2.60. So 50x versus that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. And I think what you're going to end up seeing is, to be perfectly honest, is that as this overhang gets exercised and sets new trading areas or whatever, and wherever we're trading right now is steel for sure, but the catalyst, that stock dries up, and then the catalyst is I have to deliver. And if I come out and I put out a drill hole of kilo plus material over Big West, and all the selling has dried up, and it's just new people coming into this, this is where this thing's just going to skyrocket in a hurry, for sure.
So Peter, enough about the stock. Let's talk about the drilling. You want to dive into should I pull up the news onto the screen, and you can kind of walk us through it and maybe answer this?
You can, or they can look at the news release or go to our website. I put it all together, so I can certainly talk about it. So we, as everyone knows, we drill 3 drill holes from one fence or one plane. And this is the first time ever that this has been done on the property. And the reason for that is that with 2 points, you can draw a line between them. 3 points, you can be quite exact. And this has never been done on this property before. So that was number one. Number two was what happens when you approach depth with the structure? Does it keep on going? Does it stop? Does it get good? Does it get bad? Or is it a structure? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's 2 veins or whatever you want to call it. So this hole number 3 that we reported of an intercept, and this is funny because you've heard me talk on this show before numerous times, and I was talking about, okay, we're drilling the first hole at minus 45, second hole minus 65, third hole backing up about 100 meters, we're going to drill down minus 75. We're going to hit this thing at 350 meters vertically, and we're going to see what it looks like. Well, I'm proud to say that I really screwed up, because you know what? We didn't hit it at 350 meters vertically. We hit it at 349.5 meters vertically. I was off by half a meter. Now you think about that. That's 1,000 feet underground, over 1,000 feet. And I could predict that within a half a meter. That is serious. I'm telling you, Jack, that's when you can predict something like that. So I will say, that holes, the next fence over, we've stepped over about 150 meters to the east. Now that we see how this thing's behaving, and we're going to drill the exact same type of fence again. But this time, we're getting close or approaching what the geophysics interprets as one of these north-south structures hitting the east-west Santa Maria structure. And that should get very interesting.
Okay. Let's question here. What about you found some gold in this latest drill results? You have any comments on this?
Yeah, you know, that's interesting. You brought that up. Someone else brought this up already today, and you will see companies report in gold equivalent or in silver equivalent, where you know they convert one to the other, Jack. And as was pointed out to me, one of the I think it was the hanging wall, or the footwall of the zone when we came out of it, it had dollar value wise, it had the equivalent of an ounce of silver in it, if you were to do a conversion. So people ask me, you know, are you going to put out your next fence of holes using also silver equivalent, so we just see what the true dollar value of this is? So that's something we're going to look at internally. The only problem I have with that is that there is no standard that if what I report and someone else reports and everything, everybody has their own method of doing it. There's no one rule by the book. This is how you do it, this and this. So I got to figure a way that this is not over promoting what it is. It's real. It's being being conservative, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's we got a bunch of questions coming in on the results. So here's a very good one from Mo. Can you put this into perspective? The new drill ring results. Putting this into perspective. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Where do we go?
Mo, great question. Great question. Think of it this way: the previous resource on the property before we got involved was basically over a length of 600 meters, say 1,800 feet, down to a depth of about 100 to 125 meters below surface. 300, 350 feet below surface, okay? So we have gone in here and drilled the first fence of holes to the east of the property on the edge of where that resource was calculated, 600 meters long, 125 meters deep, and gave you 4.2 million ounces of silver. But we drilled down and showed silver mineralization continuous from surface down to 350 meters below the ground, 1,000 feet. The resource only goes down to 300 feet. Now we're down at, 3 times that. You can do the math. So what's that 600? If this thing still exists down there, gee, what's going on next door at the 600 meters? So the point of this is, what the previous company, and they had a different design in this, and that was great. When they went through trying to define this vein over 600 meters, they drilled one hole on each fence, like one hole, one hole, one hole. And as I said earlier, with one hole, you can't connect 2 dots. You just can't. You don't know where the other one goes in what direction. So what has to be done is this has to be gone through again, and there has to be 2 to 3 holes. And you know what? It's cheaper to drill a third. You won't believe this, but it is cheaper to drill a third hole. Like if you're drilling 3 holes, 1 and 2, okay, they're all right. And they're all from one drill station. So the drill doesn't move. The head moves at a different angle, Jack. So the third one is deep. Yes, it's going to cost you a lot of money to go down to 1,000 feet and everything else. But if every time you move the drill from point A to point B, drill station 1, drill station 2, they charge you. That's cost. That's going out your pocket. Now, you're not getting production, you're not getting any core, but you're being charged by the hour or by the day or whatever to move that drill. So when you move these drills, you have to have everything planned out, that you're making this, like a strategic move. It's precise, it's time efficient, boom, 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 boom. So there's a lot of planning here that goes on with this, but we're very happy. I mean, first 3 holes, we're drilling 8,000 meters. We're drilling 30, 40 holes. Maybe I'm going to put a second drill on this. Maybe I'm going to increase the program. I mean, this is a great start, Jack.
Okay. We got a couple people asking about the grade. Matthew is asking, what are your thoughts on the silver grades of the recent results?
Yep. Great question.
And then we have Ferrin saying he's saying that it's below average. So what's your take on the grades?
Well, it all depends, and I'll try to explain how it depends. The more vertical mineralized zone is, the more you can extract of it. And as it sort of leans over, it goes from vertical at 90 degrees straight up and down, then it goes over to say 70 degrees. Now there's a slight angle. Is when you mine that, there's going to be pieces that are going to catch on the bottom of it, and that's called a footwall. And you won't get 100% of that. You'll get a portion thereof. And the flatter it gets, the more difficult it gets. So first of all, this is vertical, as seen by holes 1, 2, and 3. Number 2, depends upon the width. Narrow vein mining, the narrowest width you can go without using mechanical means, if you want it, is 1.5 meters, 5 feet. So if I got greater than 5 feet, I can mechanically mine this rather than having to go to a very manual labor or whatever. The other thing is that there's different types of methods. And so the wider it is and more continuous it is, or more predictable it is, you can do what they call long hole mining. And that becomes very cheap because you blast, like around a rock underground using a jackleg or whatever, you're going to get 15, 20 tons around. When you use long hole and you blast from level to level, and each level is 100 feet, and you're taking out a slice at 100 feet in one shot, you're going to take 1,500 tons in one shot. Your costs per ton drop dramatically. So those are all factors. Am I happy with this grade? Yes. Can I mine this grade? Yes, you can. So I am happy. Yes.
Oh, so okay. So that's the takeaway. It's mineable. It's economic.
Yep.
Julius, what is the intersection depth due to the current? 43,101.
That's what I was saying. A minus 125 meters or 350 feet.
Okay, we got a super chat. We're making money here today. Brock. Oh, this is the t-shirt guy. I think this is the guy that sent the t-shirts out. When can we expect results for hole number 4?
You know what? They could come at any time, guys, because both people have asked me this question. Both holes were sent in at the same time, but it doesn't mean that they get processed at the same time. Hole 3 will get processed before hole 4. So hole 4 is probably not far away, and it could be you'll see it in the public domain next week, but it shouldn't be very far away. But as we talked about before, you got to remember now as these holes are starting to churn, we will start seeing every once in a while 2 holes reported instead of 1 hole, and it's just because they start overlapping after a while.
Okay. When can we expect blue sky drilling?
I know. That's all I think about. That's probably late March, early April. Let me see, early April, May. I'd say that's pretty good. Late March, early April, we'd probably start.
Okay. Doug is asking, will the first 4,000 meters of infill drilling help determine where you drill the first blue sky drill, or have you already determined?
No, I could tell you right now where that first hole is going to be. I already know it from the IP response. So, but as you can see, those 11 anomalies are quite sizable and everything else. So when I move the drill there, I'm going to park that drill there for a little bit because it costs me to move from one to another place to another place. So I have to do things systematically. So yes, no, I already know where I want to go for hunting for blue sky. Yes.
Are you looking for more property to the north?
I'm always looking for property, and I can't comment on that anymore.
Let's see. What happened here? There we go. Ross asking, can we expect a 3D mining after the next fence of holes?
Ross, that's a great question. And you know what? We probably could. We use a geological / mining software, Leapfrog. I don't know, Ross, you probably know what it is. But anyways, we could probably do something like that. Next fence of holes, take the 2 of them, stitch them together, have what the previous 43,101 sitting beside it looks like, and then what this looks like. Yeah, we could probably do that.
I like this question. Marcel's asking, how would you compare your progress with this mine to where you were with your last mine that was acquired?
Well, the one in that's a good question. The first one in Mexico was basically an 8-year adventure, Jack, from me and a burro and a mountain and banging on rocks and then putting my own money into it. And then
a burro is like a donkey, a little donkey.
Yeah. Up in the hills, you put your rocks on them to carry them, and also water because there's no water up there. You get pretty thirsty. So anyways, that was an 8-year experience. So I can tell you right now, I have a heck of a lot more money and horsepower to go at this. So it probably at the point right now I am from my first company, I'm probably at year 3. And I don't even think this is the 3rd month of drilling yet. So we're going pretty fast. Yes, we are.
Okay. This is kind of a, I don't know, this is like a loaded question. Peter, if you were to advise your best friend, would you tell him to buy FCO? Only asking because I know nothing about mining. I just listen to people. Would you tell your best friend?
I will honestly tell you this, guys. No, I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why, because I want him to remain my best friend. And I do the exact same thing with my family and in-laws and all my ventures and everything else. Nope. sorry, and they kill me. They've given me a hard time over it. Believe me.
I'm the same way, by the way. I never tell people like, hey, family, like the stocks that we cover, like it's
no, that's a little too personal, I think.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, interesting question. John is asking, could you hire another drill team to start focusing on IPs? Lots of money in the bank.
We can, but you got to remember when you have right now. Here's our team down there. Right now, we have our project manager Wahim Rodriguez, and then we have 2 teams of geologists: a day team and a night team. We work 24 hours a day. The drill crews drill in 12-hour shifts. Shift changes 6 in the morning, 6 at night. So you have 2 geologists, and the 2 geologists have 2 technical helpers. So they work 12-hour shifts, so they can always, keep up with the core as it's being drilled and everything else. So if I go to another drill, now I need another team. I need 2 more teams to be able to keep up with that drill. And then I need more vehicles. And then so there's a whole, yes, could it happen? Absolutely. It can happen. It's not a big thing. But it's not just the factor of the cost of drilling. You increase everything exponentially going forward.
Okay, let's see here. Interesting question. Peter, will you speed up drilling, more rigs with money from exercised warrants?
I think we just covered that one.
Okay. Chances of a bonanza finding.
There is. There absolutely is. Every hole, you could have something just super spectacular. And I think once we get a feel on these, and you've heard me talk about this structure, east, west, Santa Maria structure, hitting the north, south ones and everything else. When we get into that and we're approaching it, you could get some bonanza stuff for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Another super chat here. RMD. He's from Chihuahua. Tell Pete I'll be happy to overlook the drilling operation if you need help.
Okay. Yeah, you can just drop in and see Wahim.
All right, there you go. So the address is on the website, probably, right? Where's the address of the project? Is it how does it?
Yeah, you can find out.
Okay. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with copper? We got to keep people asking about copper. Surge of copper.
Yeah. Yes, I knew this one was coming. So I'll clarify this for everyone right now because I get a crazy amount of emails lately now that copper's gone over $4 a pound. Fabled, before it was named Fabled Silver and Gold, it was actually called Fabled Copper. And Fabled Copper has and still has these, I would call them very advanced / high exploration potential copper properties in northern British Columbia. They're very isolated, by the way. And the reason why Fabled Copper really couldn't advance on that is because you have to have serious money if you want to play in this type of game. And it wasn't that way. And so the enticement for me when I was going to use my silver expertise and put a silver asset and rebuild Fabled was Fabled Silver. But we still have those. So what I have done is I have a team working on these, and it's very big database. It's huge. You have no idea. Terabytes, to give you an example. And I have a team, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to cost out what the amount and what type of work should be done in one field season to determine the true potential of these things. And once we have that number, we can make a decision because we have these early exercise warrant. There's a lot of things, right? There's various things you can do. But you got to know that number because if it's just, I'm not going to take money out of Mexico to drill something, in the middle of the mountains in BC, unless I have excess money. So I'll know that number very shortly, actually, probably within a month.
Okay, so this is the copper that's a little extra blue sky potential in this deal.
You know, there's been a lot of thought about this, Jack. You see, the Fabled silver shareholders, maybe I'm wrong, and I know a few of them I am wrong because I get emails from them talking about the copper properties, but mainly they're in there for the silver value. So these copper properties in the company really aren't bringing much value to Fabled silver, I don't think. So once we know the number of what it costs to explore these things, we'll certainly, and right now we actually are noodling around the best way to unlock value for the shareholders, over shareholders, et cetera, et cetera. So we are working on something on that and thinking about it. And unequivocally, the Fabled silver shareholder will be compensated one way, shape, or form for these copper properties.
Okay. Let's see here. We have okay. Peter, you want to answer this? What do you anticipate conservative will be hole number 4 results?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that. In a professional status, I can't. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Are you hearing from any silver players unofficially?
No, I have had conversations with our neighbors in the Parral area, 3 mining companies to date since we've become active there. So they're certainly watching us and keeping a pulse on us. But again, I say this is hole 3 of it's probably going to be 30, 40 holes on this thing. So very early days.
Okay. Eric, is this Eric's? Maybe he's referring to Eric Sprott. Is that?
I do know Eric very well. No, well, the thing is, I don't need money right now. And I'm not saying if it was non-dilutive to the company and extremely good terms, and Mr. Sprott was willing to invest in the company, it'd certainly be considered. It's not just me makes the decision. There's a board, so I'll leave that one out there.
Okay. What are holes 7 and beyond drilling into and the locations?
Okay, so we're trying to drill 3 holes to a fence and keep stepping east. Hole number, so the next fence, so to speak, is holes 4, 5, 6. There's a kind of a knob of a mountain of these young basalts that start covering the ground and the vein and everything where we are. And we can't move over our normal 150 meters because of this hill or knob or whatever. But there's a road that goes around to the other side, except instead of 150 meters, you're now about 200 meters. So that'll be actually station number 3. That's what we'll be going for the next fence of holes, and then step out from there again east.
Yeah. Okay, so the good news, we have a great internet connection today. There's
I know.
You have a new background. What do you have in the background? You have a painting there? What's going? You got new prizes?
No, actually, that is an award I got from the first mine we put in production in Mexico, and that was done by an artist, very well known Quebec artist. And it's a picture of an underground ramp with a big truck going through it. But the neat thing about it, Jack, is it's done in silver nitrate. People will probably remember like the old photographs that were taken.
The old 19th century.
Yeah. They'd have the gun smoke there, and they'd have the and they'd poof, and then they'd put silver nitrate. Well, this is done in silver nitrate, and you can see just because the way my lights are shining right now, they're hitting the
light coming in.
Yeah, so the silver is getting hit in the silver nitrate. You can see that little beam going down there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very good. Okay, let's see. Let's wrap up. Okay, so what's so we covered the most important things, which is why is the stock down? What's coming up?
We went for a long,
Okay. what else? What else? What other kind of news flow you have? You have basically more drilling results.
Well, the last couple of things in closing, I would expect, like, within days, we're probably going to have our full OTC listing rather than the pink sheet. So that'll be coming out. And also for people that really are learning about investing in mining and everything else, at my own time and expense, I'm putting together a 3-part series on YouTube that'll be on there. And it's nothing to do with Fabled, silver or anything else. I'm just talking as a whatever I am.
How mining works. You're going to explain the whole.
Yeah, the ABCs. Yeah, and the first it's a 3-part series. First one is grassroots exploration. Second part will be advanced exploration, and then third part finally will be the drilling. And so with all that, you can put it all together. And then someone has also come back to me. I was discussing this with some other financiers and everything for ideas. And they said, well, why don't you do a short 30-minute segment on investing? Why? And I'm talking about investing in Fabled or anything else, but, share structure of a company. What about this? What about that? Getting in. There is actually a chart. Maybe I can dig it out of a file someplace, but it actually when is stock the most explosive? Well, in exploration, and then you hit into, now you're going to start mining and how it performs and all this other stuff. So that'll be coming out sooner or later. I know the first A part we already shot, and it's actually being edited as we speak. So I don't know when it'll be posted.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so it's coming. So that's coming up. All right.
Yep.
All right. So Peter, to wrap up, we got news coming up. We got Ramsey saying Netflix might be buying your series there. Your series there. So you're becoming a celebrity now. I mean, you're getting T-shirts. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't had any CEOs who've had T-shirts made of them. So.
I'm that once before, I'll tell you. I know you're in a hurry here, Jack. But once before, a long time ago, when I originally started down in Mexico, I was down in Guerrero State, which is this really dangerous area, and some of the biggest gold deposits in Mexico have been found down there. And I was there right at the beginning of that by myself. And the people that I had working for me, they came from a little pueblo of 300 people right across the valley. And every morning they'd walk up to this old mine we had. They would come up there and they would be barefoot, going underground to work in bare feet. So I bought them rubber boots and safety toe things. Anyways, they asked me at one point, they had outdoor basketball hoops, so they wanted basketball uniforms because they played against other little towns and everything else. And so I asked them, I said, how much can you give me a price? What it's going to cost? Because I knew the parent company I was working for wouldn't pay for this. So they came back with a number, and I said okay, and I paid it out of my own pocket. And so the big day of the first game comes, and they invite me over to the little pueblo to see it on an outside cement court. And there they got the it's called Vianney Mine. So they get the Mina Vianney name on the front, and on the back, a friggin' picture of me in a hard hat at the portal of the mine, right? I was like, oh my God. So yeah, this is a flashback for sure. Yeah.
All right, excellent. So I would say let's wrap up on this at this point in time, based on all the recent results, where the company is right now.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, if you were an investor, or in your opinion, what would you say top 3 reasons to consider Fabled right now?
I would tell you this. First of all, do we think we know what we're doing? I think we're demonstrating that as we speak, and we have a record. Number 2 is, you know what? We're drilling 8,000 meters, and we're only 3 holes into it. But also, thanks to our shareholders, and you may complain the price went down, but you know what? Our treasury is so full right now that that 8,000 could be 16,000 or more, right? So great time to invest, because it's going to be just a crazy amount of news coming out all the time. And the share structure, it's not bad, and it's liquid. That's a big thing about this, as you know, Jack. If you got in and took a position, and down the road you wanted an exit time, hey, this stock will do that.
Excellent. Okay, Peter. On that note, thank you, and we're gonna, we look forward to having you back on. You're very good for the ratings and the super chat. You're and t-shirts. So as soon as you have next results, we're gonna have you back. Thank you for joining us. Thank you everybody for joining us on today's live stream. We'll see you in the next one.
Okay, thanks, Jack.
Thank you.